the link. Hi, all. This is Goddess Renata with Conversations, and today we have Sally Crawford, a new friend and colleague. We both have Skool memberships. I've talked to you about that before, and Sally and I decided that collaborating would be a good idea. So this is our first collaborative discussion. For what it's worth, it should be quite exciting and fun, and you'll get some good juicy nuggets from it. So I'm
Mhm.
Goddess Renata and Sally. Do you want to like say a little bit about yourself?
Well, uh, yes, so I've met this lovely lady, goddess, in one of the schools, and we've all got our own schools. So we're all beginning something new. We're all helping each other to, learn through this experience and have fun. And I've met so many lovely people and friends, and this is my first collaboration with Goddess, and she's just a bundle of joy. So I'm, excited that she's invited me to do this. It's something which is completely out of my comfort zone. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to jump in and test the waters and have some fun. So yeah,
It is.
we don't know what we're going to talk
Mm-mm.
about. So this
No,
is
we
going to be
don't. It's a
interesting.
mystery.
We are literally going with the flow.
Yeah, we are going with the flow, and I love that visual of just jumping in. Just make sure you have your floaty on so you don't go down too far. I like to say this. I love imagery, because it's so powerful. Be that a child, and that play.
Mm.
Adulting is hard,
Yes,
you
and
know.
and it's also tiring, isn't it? I was only saying the other day, and I always used to take life so seriously to the point that, it really wore me down. Anything I tried to do, anything I wanted to experience, I was so serious that the focusing on being serious and getting everything right was just exhausting. So in my later life, I'm thinking, F it. you know,
Yes, F it, fun it. Yeah,
yeah,
F it,
yeah,
fun
F
it.
it.
There you go.
And
And then the other UCK.
yeah, but life is to be experienced. So later in life, this is what I'm doing. I wasted too many years um, pretending to be somebody else. And now in my final or latter years, I just want to be myself and have fun,
You
you
have the
know.
best smile. You do. And see, I'm
Oh, thank
68. Do you
you.
want to share with it? I'm 68.
I'm 60.
Okay, so we're like in the same ball field. So really talking
Yeah,
about how we
yeah.
grew up without any of this technology. It was like, the
Mhm.
handshake and the smile and the hug. And I miss that. That's part of why I want to, do more things and connect with people because this is
Yeah.
kind of where we're going with this presence online, But I used to give it lip service like, well, that's not real communication. But being in the flame challenge, which is how we kind of met in Allison's, teacher's lounge, and that 30-day commitment, I didn't know I needed that, but it's helping me connect with me, and then it's helping me connect with others. I'm appreciating this focus and how it's a different kind of focus. What about you?
Well, you know what? I always think that the way we do grow is when we do get together, um, and we get accountability buddies, and once you see one doing something, it then can give you the courage to get up and do more than what you would have done yourself. I think working on your own is a very long and lonely, sluggish way of getting by. When you come together, what's the saying? When there's more than, two minds or more, miracles can
Yeah,
happen.
there's
And
yeah. I love
yeah,
that sluggish and sluggish, but
yeah,
like sluggish. That's a
yeah.
visual. What's that animal? A sloth. That sloth. I love the
Oh,
sloths are so cute though. But
what animal? My dog's downstairs. Well, not my dog, my brother's dog. I thought he was in here for a minute then. A sloth, yeah, or sloth.
yeah,
They
they're
are
they're kind of
kind
they're
of
kind
cute.
of They're kind of cute. And I like hedgehogs too.
Yeah, and of course, tortoises.
Yeah, I have a little tortoise. Yeah. Ancient,
And
aren't they?
they
Yeah.
they are ancient. I used to have one when I was a kid, but in my community, what it's all about is going slow. Like the tortoise, and steadily, and building something sustainable. Um,
Sustainable. Inner resources
yeah,
sustain. That's one of my acronyms for IRS. Inner resources sustain. What is the name of your platform, my friend?
it is the inner rewrite,
The inner
and
rewrite.
yeah, and I think because the journey is, life is about, I think, finding out really what is within you, what your talents are, what you love, instead of doing what you think you're expected to do, or living
Yeah.
other people's visions. Or it's just, I mean, it's like when I had my job years ago, I just couldn't get on with having a boss.
I was not slated for corporate America either. I was either late or, I do something where I'd mess it up. I get called in the office. I get written up. I did like retail sales, customer service and retail sales for a long time professionally.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I just did not fit into that mold, and I knew
no,
that, but I kept plugging along until I just decided, when I got married. I've been married like 40 years. What about you? You've been married for a while?
never been married.
Never been married?
Never been married, no.
Okay.
And at the moment, the only relationship I'm having is the one with myself. So when I'm ready, which isn't yet, um,
Let's
maybe
heart
that will
that.
happen. Never say never,
No,
but
it's
I'm
not
not
primary to
looking.
be married. No.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the way it is, I'm my own person. I've got my younger son living with me. He's a handful as well. Um,
Okay. Love a
But
handful.
yeah, but I just love finding out about myself and human beings, and what we can do, once we know more about ourselves,
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
what
living in conditioning, and what people tell us we are or we're not. It's about finding out what we are and what we can do, instead of
absolutely
holding back.
that's what they call empowerment. Like it's an
Empowerment,
inside
yeah,
job. Right.
definitely.
Otherwise, and that, it sounds, some of the words that we hear in the different spiritual seeking metaphysical community, always started to sound like carrot dangling to me, like it's outside of
Mm,
me. I have to do it a certain way. And then at some point I recognized I didn't fit into that community either, because it's like, no.
yeah.
For instance, before we came on, I said that uh, I use my cards a lot, and I write sayings. And so while we were connecting, I just three cards. I pulled my cards and three popped up, and then I said, "Well, do you use a deck of some sort?" And you said, "Yeah, I do." So you went and got yours, and what I
Well,
was
I'm
saying,
learning to.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're all learning. We're all learning how to make our tools work with us, because that we're the package, we're the gift, we're it and a bag of chips. So all the other
Yeah.
things are the tools. There's nothing in the tool by itself. I don't know.
Mm,
I mean, that's what I think. So it's our interpretation, our ability to bring information in, and then it's like a spotlight. The card's like a spotlight. Oh yeah. Like, okay, that's cool. And then this is also
mm.
cool too. And then you could add that to it. So I like to give people full permission to be themselves. And how is that? You just like do what you do. So let's I'm going to share one of these cards because it just dropped out, and then we'll have a little conversation on it, and grab yours and see if there's something that drops out and you can add to it. I don't know, but it's always kind of
Well,
uncanny when things
I
come
must
together.
say, I
What?
must say,
Go, go.
whatever card drops out, you're going to have to, help me
Okay, well,
with
we'll
the
collectively do
explanation.
it. See what comes
Because
together.
I mean, I've got two sets. Look, I brought these, and I haven't really used them much because I haven't started. But I'm so interested in talent that I thought I'm going to learn to use them one day. Now we've got the
Absolutely. I love that purple one.
that's the little one, and then this big one. So,
It's weighty.
that is weighty. It just
It's
looks
weighty.
pretty as well. Oh, look.
Oh, one fell out. Did you have a fallout? You had a
Oh,
pop
it's
out.
instructions.
Oh, well, that's okay. But you know what? That's interesting. It's like our life could come with an instruction manual, but it does not, does it? It does not.
No,
And
no.
the one that we get in terms of others' beliefs and values and that, it's good to just let that fall out. And sometimes you can't do that till you're later on in life, like now. So that's synchronistic, Miss Sally. That's I think that's
Okay, I'll take
perfect.
that. I'll take that.
Yeah, I just picked up the rule book and I just dropped it on the floor. I don't even want it. Okay, here's the first one. Oh, united we stand, united we rise. I
And
think
that's
so.
just what we were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
About
See?
coming together,
Yeah. Yeah.
community. You actually do more, you learn more, and you become more confident. So that card's perfect.
I know, and it's almost uncanny how once you um, start to trust the stuff that you pick up and decide you want to integrate it, then it just starts to
Mm,
make sense. You know? I mean,
exactly.
I'm discovering that. I'm discovering that. Let's see. So finding out that the rules that we live by aren't the rules that we have to keep. I mean, like
That's
we can choose differently. And that sounds like what your inner rewrite is all about. Like we
definitely. At the
yeah,
end of the day, I think the only thing we can control, instead of trying to waste so much energy trying to control what's outside of us, we need to learn to control our own system, within, and learn about that system.
true.
And of course, that's, I think, what sovereignty is. That's the way to become the authoritative figure of oneself. Another
Authorship.
way to put it is mind your own business
Mind
instead of
your own.
minding, yeah, instead of
Yeah,
minding other people's. So,
yep, yep.
there's
That
that as well.
that mind your own business because there's gold in there and sometimes platinum. That's one of my little sayings. I love that one.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, mind your own business. Like get to digging in your own stuff because
Yeah.
that's what's real. And we just haven't been taught that at all in our culture.
No, not at all. Do you know
Not,
what? It's strange because when I was young, well, when I was very little, I had a really bad stomach, and I grew up in quite a large family, three girls, three boys, my mother and father. There was eight of us in a three-bed house. And I don't know where I got this really bad stammer from, but probably because my siblings were always fighting around me.
uh-huh.
But and also because I had this bad stammer, then it was a very good excuse for people to laugh at me. So I grew up believing that I was someone else. I thought, I was silly, I was stupid, I can't do anything.
Okay.
Um, and I lived that life for quite a long time, up until my 20s. And so I just thought, let's get the self-help books out, let's learn. Um, and I kept myself in very low classes when I was younger. But over the years, what I went on to was spirituality, and I didn't think about that. It just started to happen. My journey started to be about, well, who am I? What am I? You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, why do I have to be like this? And those questions were the rocket what set me off on my way without me even realizing it.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
now, I'm just the complete opposite. So I know that there's so much in people, and so many people are told, um, have these conditions put upon them, either by their parents, society, other people, friends. And some people really take that in.
They
And
do.
it's
They
like,
allow it. They allow
no,
it. And then so
yeah, but
the choosing now is to disallow that. And it sounds
that's
simple
right.
for us that we've been practicing that for a while and seeing the
Yeah,
results of that. And it,
Yeah.
it happens for everybody, but I learned a while ago, like the soapboxing, you can't really force people to, mind my authority
No, no, you can't.
because
Yeah.
it's like it's inefficient. Like you were talking about that,
I've tried
exhausting,
that.
wearing that mask all the time. Like I was just worn out. And I bet a lot of
Mm.
our people that actually get into our different memberships, that's part of the attraction. It's like it's a little bit of hand holding, which is okay as long as someone wants to allow the shifts. And if they don't, they what do? They go away, they drop off. I mean, that's the way that goes, huh?
But sometimes I think it's not always about allowing. Sometimes I think you just may not know. If you've lived a certain way and had certain beliefs for most of your life, then you may not know anything outside of that. Um,
Oh,
and
yeah,
until something happens, or you get to such a level that you start to question things, then I think everyone's on their journey of life, and we're all at different places, and I think that's just the
absolutely.
way it's meant to be. So like before, years ago, I used to think about, my dad was a very Christian man. He had the Bible, and I
Mm, mm,
and things like that. And I mean, he'd swear by the Bible and everything.
sure.
He's passed away. I've got his Bible, for sentiment. And I do believe if you read between the lines, there is wisdom there, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
Um, but I think for me, no matter how much I believed, in a God outside of myself back then, that it wasn't until I started to believe about the God within myself that my life began to get better.
Yeah, I'm gonna heart
So,
that because that's true. There's the
mm,
God inside. Absolutely. That is the deal. That is the deal. And then
yeah,
that's that. I think I rejected all the religiosity about the sin, hell, and damnation. Like, well, that just can't even be real.
yeah.
There's no white guy up in the sky saying you got this and you got that, and like, well, that doesn't even sound. I got that like early in life, so I
Yeah,
didn't. I incarnated into a family that did not force me to go to church or ascribe to any sort of belief system. So
okay.
I was free to have all kinds of life experiences to give myself wisdom. And I am appreciative of that, lived,
Mm,
embodied, because that's what it is. It's embodiment. When you
yeah,
know, take your experiences and move them inward, like you discovered, well, there's knowledge in the Bible for sure. Yes, I've heard lots of things that when you read through them, it's talking about what's happening inside of you. Jesus was a grid worker. So that, I mean, Joshua was a grid worker. So there's lots of overlays with the dogma to control the masses. That's kind of where that came from. And it was
yeah,
tweaked. It was inverted. So many things have been inverted with the knowledge, and so it's important to allow yourself to change your script. So there is that
yeah.
allow, even though it's not like a I'm going to do that thing. I hear what you're saying. But when people are squished and then someone comes along to unsquish them, they have to allow the unsquishing.
But do you know what? I do as well think that the Bible is a lot of symbolism.
Yeah,
And over the years, people got confused with, taking that for real and not seeing the symbol side of it.
exactly.
Um, so yeah, but the only way I think you really find true happiness is when you start to look inside, for
That
sure.
I could, that's yeah, 1,000%. That's where the beauty is, yeah. And
Mm,
there's more rising up that I notice that I am aware of, and then I'm like, oh, that I have a great example of this instant manifestation on a very tangible, usable way.
yeah.
So I love clothing and I'm a thrifter. I've been a thrifter forever. And I have events. I've got one coming up on the 22nd of February. It's called a shop style
Okay.
share, and so it's a clothing
Yeah.
thing. I had a clothing store for about 10 years, a used clothing store, my husband and I. So anyhow, I was like, I'd like to organize out in the garage a little bit more, but I need a few more hangers. So earlier in the morning, I was like, I need some more hangers. And that's kind of a big deal. I didn't want to like go pay. I can go buy new hangers, but that
Yeah.
wasn't what I wanted to do. I just wanted to find some, like somebody threw them out on the side of the road or go to the Goodwill, that kind of thing. But people are
Mhm.
kind of tidy with the hangers around here. So I'm like, ooh, I just, my wish was I really need some more hangers. And then I was downstairs doing the breakfast and I heard, go to Rainbow. It's a little thrift store that's around where we live. Go to
Yeah.
Rainbow. I'm like, okay. So I said to my husband, George, honey, let's go to Rainbow before we go do our other errands. He's like, okay. So we get in the car and he says, you want to go here first? Like, no, let's go to Rainbow so we can go do that. I walked in and I said, they're Thai or Korean. And so I'm like,
Mm.
I'm going, hangers, and they like looked at me a bit, hangers.
And you got
Oh,
them?
hangers. And then they went
Oh,
and pointed. There was a bootload of hangers all wrapped up in nice
oh,
little, and I got all my hangers for about like 20 bunches. There were 2 bunches for $1.
wow.
So I got a bunch of hangers to hang up my stuff. And then I'm like, well, that was quick. Thank you. I've had a lot
Well,
of those
this is
kinds
it.
of things happen, and I want to just
Yeah,
encourage people to pay attention to the synchronicities. Like that's a new time frame.
exactly.
That was a sort on synchronicity. Share some of yours because I know that's happened to you. I know that's like bootload of stories where
Ooh,
you
I've got
don't
to think.
even.
Well, I mean, there's quite a few, but most of mine is like being like online or with Times, um, or which here's one I think most of us have had is when you're just about to ring a person, you're thinking about someone, and you're just about to ring them, and they ring you, you know. Or sometimes I've got a very close friend and my phone's always ringing if it's not my son or if it's other people. But whenever my very close friend, we've known each other since we were 5, whenever she rings, I tend to know she's on the end of the phone, and I'll say that's my friend. And when I answer it, lo and behold, it is. But also just some experiences what I've had. I mean, I'm a lover of YouTube, and I don't search YouTube anymore. I just sort of go on there and see what comes up. And a lot of the time that something comes up, um, like I may have asked a question, or I may be
Yes,
wondering
yes.
about something, and I might turn my phone on, and then there's a topic about this very thing, and it's like, hell, what?
I love that. I mean, that's how I
Yeah,
get a lot of knowledge. It's like, oh, well,
yeah.
that's interesting. I'd like to know a little bit more about that. And
Mm.
then something, comes across my feed or I turn into something or I remember I had a book about that or that kind of thing. I feel you. It saves
Yeah.
you time, doesn't it? You don't have to go
Well, it does,
searching.
but also I think there's sometimes when, because I do like to do a bit of meditation in the morning, and I'll tell you why. I meditate for at least 10 to 15 minutes, purely for the simple fact that if I just try to roll out of bed, I just want to get back in it. But I find that but I find that if I sit up on my bed and I'm like, this for 10, 15 minutes, and then I open my eyes, I'm ready to get up. I feel, I don't feel sluggish. So it's almost like my little 10, 15-minute meditation is there to wake me up and get me going for the day. Um,
Meditation. Yeah, your meditation. Yeah, you're paying
yeah.
attention to you. I love that. And that's it, and there's that I used to have that thought that maybe you had to spend a lot of time, the meditation and do it a certain way. Like,
No.
no. I mean, even cleaning the house can be like a zone
Yeah,
for me.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you get into that flow, right? Or
Or a walk in
gardening.
nature.
Yeah. And just recognizing that's what that is. So that's a
Mm,
way to like definitely turn in and rewrite what you've been shown, right?
mm,
So you're showing yourself. And I love that. Just the first time in the morning when you get up. Yeah,
definitely.
that's powerful too. So just that
Yeah.
time with yourself. Do you get
And it is,
flashes of things come to you sometimes?
I do, yes, I do. Especially, if there's something I want to know or something I thought, want to know about, my inner self, because I try to work with higher self. Um, and answers don't come to me a day or 2 days later. someone will say something or say a line, or something will just drop into my mind. Something can happen, and I think, ah, that's. What it is. And I can't really explain that. It just sort of comes to you from
Yep.
nowhere. So,
Yep.
yeah. Um,
I
and
call
again,
that
I think
gnosis.
that's because, yeah,
There's
and
that
I think
gnosis. Hmm.
that's it. And I think that's because, I've got this belief as well that everything is within. I think once you start to find yourself and you start to know yourself, then little things start to happen to prove that for you, and
Yep.
it's great. It's great.
Confirmation is powerful. I was in
Confirmation.
a lodge a long time ago when I first moved here 20 years or so. And I
Hmm.
remember grandmother always saying, like, confirmation, pay attention to confirmation. Not so much validation, but confirmation. Um,
Mm,
for instance, like seeing something out of the side of your eyes and then like questioning it, thinking it's something else. And she's like, no,
mm.
there's lots of stuff going on. Just acknowledge, like, oh, I see you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, I've
So
had
that
that.
confirmation, yes.
Yeah, I've had that before where I've thought I would have sworn
Yep.
something, someone
Yep.
went by and there's nothing there.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, yeah, I think
But
there's
there
so
is.
much going on which is, invisible to our naked eyes, but it's a lovely thing.
It's
But I can't
lovely.
believe that years ago I used to be afraid of dying and things like that. But now it's not even a thought in my head. But that was a thought in my head at the age of 14. And I never forget, I was at home and everyone was out except my mum was in the bathroom. And I just started to cry because of this fear of death.
Mm.
And my mum shouted out, she said, Sally, what's wrong with you? Are you crying? I said, yes. She said, what's wrong? And I said, I'm scared of dying. And she come back with, you silly sausage. You haven't even started your life yet. But to me, I was devastated, that and when I think about things like that, it's quite funny, really. I'm definitely not afraid of death now.
Mm-mm.
Something because I know that, well, for me, my belief is that we don't die. The body may, but the spirit doesn't. And if we're all energy, because we've got the science which tells us that, then energy can't go anywhere. It can only transform, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we all have beliefs that guide us. And, it
Yes.
is the belief that we allow to guide us that is the self-fulfilling prophecy. I believe the
Mm,
body is self-healing and self-regulating. I believe in immortality. So
mm,
I study those things, or those things come to me that confirm that for me, and like, yay. So we're all living in our own
yeah.
little bubble, which is a great thing, but now this ability to bubble out, like at the party where you get the little bubbles in
Collectively.
the thing,
Yeah.
and then the bubbles, like, they
Yeah.
get really big, and sometimes they come together and make one other. That's kind of how this online community feels to me. It's the big bubble effect, like
Yes.
a bubble machine. Ooh, a bubble machine. That we can like share with everybody. You have the best smile, Sally.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Oh dear, don't say that. I'm not one for compliments.
Okay. Well,
Now I've
you
got
know
my
what? That's
yes, go
interesting as well. There's a lot of things we've grown up with, like, not one for compliments. Like, okay, I feel you. And someone pointed out to me, false modesty is like false modesty. Just embrace when someone gives you a gift or says
I
that, because
do,
they
and do you know
they see
what?
that you do that now. Yes.
I Yes, I didn't even say thank you for that because that is really, really nice. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I
And
mean,
anyway, you give me plenty to smile about because you're such a funky little bunch of joy, and you're quite magnetizing is the word, yeah,
oh, thank you. Thank
and
you
you're
so
very
much for that.
positive,
I'm
yeah,
learning to value that. That's, one of the things that I love being, because that's how I am. And I just like reinforce that time and time again. Thank you very much. I
yeah.
appreciate
Your
you.
energy definitely does come through for sure.
And we all have that, though. That's what's so fascinating when I listen to the ladies that, take the time to drop in, And there's a
Mm.
consistency there with, our new colleagues that drop into the platform and like, interesting. I'm just learning to like listen. I get so much from the listening and how things are connected.
Mm.
Like when we all drop in and then people have like Marilyn will have a question and then like, what?
Yeah,
I was thinking about that. Or somebody else will have a question and I'm like, oh, well, I should go check that out. And the other
yeah,
day we were talking about that whole tier thing. And I haven't grabbed a hold of that. I just leave mine the way it is right now. But there was a breakdown. I thought, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way.
yes.
And like
And
it's,
that's the beauty of
isn't
people
it?
coming together, you know,
Yeah.
um, because there's a lot of things we don't think about, but when you come together and you think, wow, I could have been doing this. I mean, I learned yesterday how to do something, which was the questions as people come in and join. I didn't have any questions. So I just sort of let that go. But once I found out, someone asked a question online, and Alison did this little video. And once I saw that, I thought, wow, let's go and put some questions in there because that way you can let people know what you're about and is it for you? And I mean,
Right.
I'd let anyone in anyway, but at least if they've got a bit more feedback than just what's on the about page, it's a good way for you to find out where they're coming from.
I
And then you
know.
can, yeah, and then in that way you can sort of work around some of those question or answers what they've given you to build your community so that
See,
it's
that's
everyone.
yes, yes. And I say like we're the present that people unwrap by our presence in their life. It's not like a hierarchy, but
Yeah,
again, showing up for that 30-day commitment thing, I'm the proverbial plate spinner, non-committed, blah. I don't
mm,
do any of that, don't follow, none of that. But wow, I got to see all the resistance I have about helping people, because that's what this is about, and assisting people. And I had kind of a static view about what that looks like people just get it. No, guys, not really. And being
yeah,
in the community, like being a part of that community, oh, people have questions. And it's good for you to see your biases. Like, oh, you
yeah,
expect people
yeah,
to get it like you got it, but you've been doing this for 30 something years. So how do you,
yeah,
right? And then like the question thing, having the questions in there, like, oh, that's valuable. You might not want that, but you own the platform. You own this, you're the teacher. So,
yeah, yeah,
but there's always ways to learn. I'm like, I'm a proverbial student that wants to integrate things though. I don't want to be like learning
yes,
and just
yeah,
not useful information because there's a lot of not useful information out in the world.
yeah. Well, you've got to have the balance of good and I mean, the world it can't just all be peaceful. It can't just all be one way. Otherwise, how on earth would we feel the benefits of happiness and joy and greatness? So we've got to have some of that horrid stuff and then learn to balance things out, I think. And also, we're
Yep.
not all on the same level,
No,
everyone goes at their own pace. So,
thankfully.
mind you, saying that, I do think the world is becoming a better place because things are changing, you
Yep.
know,
I
and
see it every
and I
day.
think yeah, and I think more people are actually getting in touch with their spirit,
Yep.
especially some of the young what are being born into the world. Some of those young people uh, have got um, they're more grown up than some people I've met of my age.
No,
you know,
absolutely. I mean that whole
yeah.
gender bender thing that's going on to separate people.
Oh,
I've got people in my family that, that's just where they're at and it's all cool, love them totally. And
yeah,
the acceptance that young people have about a lot of stuff, they just don't go there with the separation. That you talk to them and you can see that they're in their heart with whatever. But
yeah,
they're
yeah.
in this world and there's all this confusion to separate people. That's really all it's
Yes,
about. It's
yeah,
not designed to unify at all, just to separate. And I feel part of, my path and growth has been to really honor that it's okay to step outside. Really, you don't have to go along with any of that. And
Yeah.
so just my presence in people's lives gives them the permission. But sometimes, I can be a little irreverent about stuff like the religiosity. When I had my store, there's a lot of women that were Christian, and they would come and
Mm.
I say that kind of to show how I had that about it.
That thing.
And
Mm.
they had they'd be in service, it'd be Saturday, so they didn't do this and didn't wear that. And I'm like, well, back when Jesus was around, they didn't have cars and they didn't have a lot of stuff. So those rules applied then, but now, unless we go naked, like, you got to wear some clothes.
Exactly.
You can have some style and you can have some color and you can put some makeup on, but there's all these do not things. And that just struck me as
Yeah.
odd. But then I thought, well, goddess, people probably think you're odd with your, woo on your cards and the body's self-healing and regenerating. And, so I'm like, oh. And
Yeah.
short story, a woman came in and she had written a book into the
Mm.
store, and a client had bought her in because she really loved her, wanted to introduce her to me, and we wanted us to do like a book signing, like a little event in the store. And I thought, oh, I love events. And then she gifted me a book, and we were so excited. It felt like I'd known her, right? I went home and I thought, well, I should at least, look at the book a little bit. I just read the back cover, and it was like, my name is da da da, and I love God something, and I'm a Crit, and I'm like, oh, I've got a Bible thumper. And then I heard so distinctly, Sally,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to get rid of that religious bigotry you got going on in your head.
Well, do you know what? I could never understand the Bible from when I was young because I thought if God is meant to be so loving, then how can he throw people into hell? But later on in life, for me, I do just believe it's all symbolism.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
I
And I just,
mean, like the devil and the angels. I mean, I think that's just our emotions, because
mm,
we could all be angels, but we could all be quite devilish as well, at times. We could all be
absolutely.
angry and we could all be helpful. So all of this Bible stuff, I think it is good if you look at it in a symbolic way,
Yeah.
instead of a
From a more
literal way.
multidimensional level. From a more
Yeah, and
multidimensional level. Because
yeah,
there's lots of us, many
yeah,
selves, and
yes,
when we're fragmented, that's the conflict and the challenge. But when you bring
mm,
all of you together under one temple, multidimensionality in
yeah,
embodiment, that's really what's going on with us.
yeah,
And fine tuning all those senses and then being able to use all those senses to make your
mm,
life more graceful. You can intuit things, you can
exactly.
feel things, you can follow those things, and then they turn out to be cool. They turn out to
Mm,
be save you some time.
yeah, for
You think you
sure.
should go left and you went right instead, and right happened to be the thing. Like thinking's highly overrated.
And also, even if it wasn't, sometimes those things what happened to us, which we wish didn't at the time, you look back and you see that that was just data,
Hmm.
and if you take that in as data, then you can next time you know what not to do.
You can compute it just
It's
like the
data.
AI,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
advanced
Yeah.
integration.
I mean,
Yeah,
I never, if anything, what I deem is bad in the moment happens to me, I always sort of bring myself back and I think, do you know what? This is experience and something I can learn from. What is it that I need to learn from this? And then I forget about it. And then if, a few days later, I know, an answer comes, or it could be months, or it could be a year down the line. But when you always look back, you sort of see the path and you see why things have happened. And with those things, what have happened to you, how it's helped mold you as a
yeah,
person and grow as
yeah.
well.
Appreciate it.
But yeah,
Appreciate.
I
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
yeah, and I just think too many people are controlled by too many outside things.
yeah. I just made up an acronym for your data because I like the data idea. Because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are like computers and we do
Mm.
rapidly, rapidly. So daily alignment teaches all, teaches all parts of us. And then that you talk about the meditation and
Yeah.
going with the flow and reflecting on the journey and the lessons that you've integrated, the things you've let go of, the things you've allowed. That
Yeah.
data is good stuff. Daily
It is good
alignment, like
stuff.
checking in with yourself. Check in with yourself. If
Yeah.
you feel sad, okay, well, you feel sad or you're tired.
Yeah.
Well, acknowledge. Don't just keep going. Acknowledge. "Ooh, we're just really tired today. I'd love a little break." I mean, whatever that is, but go to your
Exactly.
job if your livelihood is about making yourself get up and go do that, then please go do that
Yeah.
for yourself. But when you acknowledge all parts of you, you start to appreciate, and that really elevates your presence for yourself and then in the
Yeah.
world. Because you're where you're at, you're speaking to people all the time. They're reading you out. We're reading each other all the time. We just
Mm.
some of us are just consciously paying attention to what's
Yeah.
going on with that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. True. There was something I was going to mention as well. Oh, it's just gone out of my because I just heard my son coming up the stairs. It'll come back to me.
It
Okay.
will.
Anyway, what about these cards? Shall I pick
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
card?
Do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you might
absolutely.
have to tell me what they mean because, like I said,
You're
I
good.
haven't even really
Yeah.
been playing around with them much at the
Well, look,
moment.
we
But
just talked about daily alignment, data. You were just talking about data. So, ways
okay,
that people get trapped in thinking the data is, finite. Ooh.
okay. Well, this one is the Chariot. Can
Ooh.
you enlighten me to that?
Well, I see some wings. I see the purple. And is this the Egyptian? There's like an Egyptian figure there.
Yeah, yeah.
And well, that's
I used
ancient. That's
I
ancient.
used to be into that, by the way, a lot.
Oh, really?
10, yeah, 10, 15 years ago. Um, I think the house what I lived in, is it Egyptian? Well, it looks sort of, but the house what I lived in, I actually done some little Egyptian markings on my wall.
The little hieroglyphs,
But
huh? Some
yeah, but I
sigils.
used to, yeah, and that's one place I'd love to go is to,
Egypt.
Egypt, go
Me
and see
too.
the, yeah, yeah.
Do you feel like you've
So,
had lifetimes in Egypt?
do you know what? I felt like I don't know why I had this longing to, and I still have to want to have gone there. So maybe in another life, another lifetime, I was Egyptian and or something. But I've got this love for it, and one day I will go and visit there, and you know, hopefully before I die.
Before you die this time. But interesting now, we were talking
Yeah.
about how using data and how people get stuck. And
Mm,
sometimes that's the ancient knowledge is really powerful, but you have to bring it forward. You have to utilize the wisdom. You have to do something with it, or else it's just
yeah.
static. You have to acknowledge and then allow that wisdom in. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's going to the place or, a little deeper dive, but just pulling that card kind of symbolize we can all fly and move forward and honor our lineage, our past.
Mm,
But we
mm,
get stuck if we stay there because we're here now. We're here in
mm.
this time, and this is about new earth creation. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
So that
And
was appropriate. And the purple is kind of that um higher vibration or higher frequency, the purple color, and the wings
yeah.
above. So I made that up, but it'd be interesting to see like sometimes I'll take the booklet of instructions, and I'll just open it and like I look at the page number, like, okay, that tells me something. If there's numbers on the
Yeah.
card, and then I'll just randomly, if I'm with a client and it's a new book, I'll just go through, oh, read that part, and I just will read that. So because I
Well,
don't know
that's
what
what
any of that means. It probably, there's another there's another meaning with that one for sure.
there could be, but I like, that sounded good what you said to me. But
I like
you
it. See
know,
how it is? We can like pull
yeah.
people in and like maybe that's the message for us to not to
Mm,
get too stuck on the woo-wah of things because people can go deep with my was this and I was this in another lifetime and I was it. What are
yeah.
you doing in this lifetime? That's really
Exactly.
quite
It's here
important.
and
So this
now, which
this is
is the
this is
the
good.
present, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, this is your ancient and your current.
Yeah.
And
And
that,
and
you're
that's
ancient and some people are scared of that when you pull that up and you talk about reincarnation or past life. And because maybe they're more Christian, of which you had the exposure to it, but you allow
mm,
a whole different viewpoint in. So you're not going to poo-poo somebody if they talk about that or say that. You're going to
yeah.
encourage them to, well, go check it out. more than likely go check it out and see if that how that feels to
Sometimes,
you.
yeah. Oh, sorry, I'll just step that. Um, I think sometimes, if we grow up with a belief, anything outside of it is fearful, even if it may be truthful,
Yeah,
because to them, it may be, it's not truth, is it? It's something scary or something weird. But I definitely think life is to live and express yourself
yeah.
and just have fun. Just
To
don't
have
worry too
fun,
much.
yes.
God,
More
so
funny.
many people stress out, don't they, for every little thing. And also sometimes when we want to do better and we don't, and we beat ourselves up. I don't do that
Oh,
anymore. I
yeah,
think
me either.
that's a thing we all human beings can quite easily do. Beat ourselves up for not doing this or not achieving that. But
Critical. Yeah, yeah, more
yeah, now I
self-critical.
just think to myself, you know what? We're here to experience.
Hmm.
And yeah, like I said, I don't beat myself up anymore. I just say that's data.
That's data, and that's another way where people get stuck because they like, I should have known better. I'm trying to like, well, you
Yeah.
know what? Now you do know,
Yes,
and then now
exactly.
if you choose that same
Yeah,
thing again, well, you're good too. But just
yeah,
embrace, allow, know that you chose that this time after you have the lesson. It's like, ooh, finger on
yeah.
stove burns, ow. Then you do it again, like, well, okay, you're choosing to burn your finger, and there's some wisdom. There's some wisdom in that too.
Well, there is, but I must say, it's see now for me, I think that it's not always that because the second time you're choosing, I think because we build these little deep ruts within our brain. Even when we know better, we may fall back in that rut. So
Absolutely.
the
Don't beat
the
yourself up for
way
that
to get
either.
out of it is just to keep reminding yourself, don't beat yourself up. This is a habit. This is something I do because I've been doing it for years, and I'm recognizing that now. And I think the more you do, and you try to do another little habit, not force, but something you want to do or something you want to enjoy, then it's just a way of wait. You have to be patient. Time will take its toll, and we can get ourselves out of these deep beliefs which we've just ingrained within our minds.
You
And
said a
also
key word.
science says that as well.
You said a key word
Yeah.
though. You said once
Yeah.
you recognize, I make recognize awareness and however you become aware
Yes.
of something. And that's where that
Mm,
multidimensional using all your senses comes in. Because
mm,
you think it's an absolute, I see it, touch it, smell it. Okay, those are some of them, but there's other ways to cognitize or recognize that you're
mm.
in a growth process. And it's kind of cool to
Yeah.
be able to sit and really look back on how much I've grown to see myself in the evolution of Renata. It's kind of a
Yeah.
cool process. And it
Yeah.
is that higher self that's stepping in, that's embodying the wisdom that's happening to all of us. I see it. I see it,
Mm,
people. I just like to talk about it in that framework,
yeah.
but it's not, that's just me. And so what I was making that point about the person that was the religiosity and how I saw my things I need to get rid of. It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter how someone comes to awareness. Like, who am I to judge that your awareness is less than mine? Like,
Yeah.
but do not
All equal.
keep you out of the process just because you don't agree. It's not, this world is not about agreement.
No, no.
No.
And that brings us back to, mind your own business. And, so if someone's judging you, it's like, well, mind your own business and I'll mind mine,
Yeah.
because
We all have
that's what's
Karens in our life.
important.
We all have, oh, card. I got another one. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
Synchronicity of things. It's an acronym for IRS again. Inner respect stabilizes.
Wow, I like
I
that.
know. Inner respect stabilizes.
Well, to me, that I would take that as respect yourself, learn to respect yourself, because that's what I had to do in the end. And I think that's what we all have to do, isn't it? is to learn to
Yeah.
respect ourselves, you
It's
know?
okay
So
that,
I
yeah,
like
it's okay to
that.
say no. It's okay you say no. You have boundaries about certain
Yes.
things. Then people
Yeah.
can find you clearly. When you move your borders, then when I
Yeah.
drive up, like,
Yeah.
oh, she's not there anymore. No, she moved on. I was the
And some,
proverbial
yeah,
help people because I could feel I was really empathic, and you probably are too. Where
yeah.
you just could anticipate what people were feeling in some
Or,
kind of
yeah, or
way.
you just have that feeling and you sense that from someone. Yeah, yeah. But then we've all got these abilities, but in others it's just lying dormant
Sure,
because,
we don't acknowledge.
because they're too don't acknowledge or maybe too much focusing on the outside. I think, we just need to balance everything up. Um,
Question for you though. So in your
yes.
inner rewrite, this idea of bringing people back in, do you
Mm.
have like a core thing that you share right when you get somebody into your membership about that? Aside from the questions you're going to put in there, but just what you remember has
Well,
started to happen for you with people.
well, I just think, number one, be who you're meant to be. And part of what I'm doing is, not be who you think you should be, but be who you're meant to be. And sometimes we think we're someone who we're not. And so I hope that people will learn more about themselves when they come in. And also, whatever you want to do, you can do. It doesn't need to be rushed. I used to rush all the time. In fact, I was rushing for this, but there's other things that I used to rush at. And if I didn't get it done, I would just be beating myself up, devastated. But now, you know, if I don't get something done, which I wanted to get done, I think, okay, there's another day tomorrow, as long as I'm
Time.
consistent. So again, it's about learning consistency, small steps, and
Yep.
not beating yourself up and
And
recognizing who you really are by what you can achieve and do. And yeah, just being kind to yourself, really.
keep imagining and never doubt kind. Absolutely. And that's like a good one. It's a big one when someone's starting from looking outside of themselves all the time.
Yeah,
So, what you
yeah.
just said sounds like to you, like, of course, and to me, like, of course. But we've had a lot, we've had a lot of
We've
lived
had a lot of
experience,
years.
like acknowledging that, and we've been able to fluff ourselves up. So when we kind of like we bounce back, whew,
Mm,
that's
mm.
I'm more buoyant in my like, okay, that didn't work out. You're okay. It saved you a lot of time. I like to say I'm a quick study. Just show me, kick me
Okay.
in the butt. Let me know right away. This is like, you are off base on this one totally. But again, coming back to how I even know you and how we've connected, it was like, well, what's this flame challenge? I think I need the fire lit
Yeah.
under my butt. I'm way too much into my own thing. I'm not accountable to anybody but myself. I have complete and utter autonomy in my life at 68, and
Mm.
I feel good. But I'm like, okay, but if you want to do and create some other things, goddess, then you need to develop some other little skills, and your focus is, you're off the chart by not focusing. So the the flame thing was
Well, I
good
would
for
say,
me.
yeah, but again, isn't it something you want to do rather than you
Oh
need to
yeah.
do?
No, no, absolutely. Yeah,
Just
I'm
learn
allowing
to,
myself to
yeah,
check it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
And even,
absolutely.
even, yeah, even the things what are some things what are difficult. If it's something you want to do, then anything you experience, you're going to have difficult moments. But by getting over those difficult moments, the only way you get over them is,
Get
repeating,
over them.
repeating, repeating until you get over it. Yeah.
And then giving yourself a support. And it feels like I'm doing a plug for the school whole thing,
The
but I
school's great.
it's really $9 a month.
I
You can get
know.
in there and
It's
like share your
nothing.
passion and have that
Yeah.
patience and then connect with
Yeah.
community. And that's like so powerful. I'm like, are you getting this? And I'm like patting
Mm.
myself in the back going, well, you allowed that. You went to check it out. You went to saw that video that Arlen did in your first 5K about a woman who made like $16,000 in her first her day on a day, and I'm like, I want to
Yes,
watch that
yes, I did see
video.
that. Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
watch that video. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool, but who's this Arlen Hamilton in your first 5K? What's she about? So I immediately went and I checked her out, and I'm like, oh, she's like a millionaire, and look how she's done that. This is interesting. And it was
And
like
all
50
in
bucks.
10 years.
And it was for
Yeah.
50 bucks for the year. I whipped my credit card out so quick, boom, and the
Well,
Skool
that's
thing as
something
well,
I could
boom. And
afford.
then, yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
look at, you've attracted a community that you can learn in and you can grow in, and it's going to be there, and you're
Mm,
going to evolve along with it. So that's how it
yeah.
looked like you've got like a storehouse of knowledge there that we can just tap into at different times.
Yeah.
What's now, tell me your membership so that when we have it, people can, we're doing the AI recording. So that'll be in there. You can say it. Oh, yeah.
What my
Yeah, your
community,
platform, and I'll say what
it's
mine is
called
too.
the Inner Rewrite.
The
The
Inner
Inner
Rewrite.
Rewrite. Yeah.
Okay. And it's a membership platform on Skool. Okay.
Yes, and it's free at the
Okay.
moment as well. And it's just about collaboration, and getting what you want instead of what you thought you should be going for, you know? Because I think so many people uh, just fighting inside to even maybe know what it is they want. And I think by collaborating with others, this is how we find out things as well. Each one teach one, as my late cousin
Ooh,
used to
I
say.
like that. Each one, each
Yeah,
one. Okay, that's
yeah.
there's some juicy nuggets in here. Each one. Hmm. Now,
Well, that I got from my late cousin, bless her. She was a
ah,
teacher and she was a great person, yeah. But she taught me a lot.
I had a cousin too that, I think back, I'm like, I loved her. Like she gave me my first
Yeah,
haircut,
yeah.
and just yeah. And I've been having some full circle moments with family and people that I grew up with,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that always seems to happen, like that life review. Don't you're not you're
totally.
dying in a metaphorical way.
Yeah, yes,
And,
yeah.
and I'm choosing like, oh, family has been really cool in my life at a distance though,
Yes.
but still like I value that in this lifetime. That's important. Or you could be really isolated. I mean,
Mm,
that's a choice too, but I kind of like I want to be accessible. I want friends. I want people to do stuff with.
yeah.
I was
Well,
more
I
of a
can't
lone
believe
person.
how many friends I've met since being in the school communities with all the
I know,
different schools,
I know.
and Arlon, she's great. She's just there to really help people believe in themselves as well, isn't she?
That's it.
She's,
That's the
you know,
ripple. That's
yeah,
it.
for
She's not
sure.
she's not saying be like me, because that's Arlen. But be
Yeah,
like you. There's a gold mine in
yeah,
there. Mind your own
yeah.
business. That's what she's going to say. Mind your own business. And then then we're us that want to make a living so we can travel a little bit more. That's me. And be able to
Mhm.
work wherever I'm at. That's kind of the idea. And so
Yeah,
online really fits that. I've had that vision for a long time, and now I see that I've started
me
to
too.
plant the seeds for that to actually happen.
Mm.
Like I'd love to come to the UK and visit you or other
Well,
people
I'd
that I've
love to
met.
come. You know what? One day that will happen for both of us.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I wrote some songs years ago, and
Oh,
through the
I want to
years,
talk about
as
that
I've
because
been singing about them, it's actually coming true. Hence why I'm here in this school community. It's really strange. Um, but yeah, I've got some. I'll share another song with you. I'll post you one, which I
I
think you'll really, really like.
no,
But
I was
all,
like amazed at that when I went to your platform. Like, oh, she writes songs. Wow,
yeah,
this is so
but
cool. But you've been doing it for a while.
well, no. To be quite honest, there's quite a handful of songs, but these songs were written back in 2010 up until 2015. I,
Okay.
and they were almost like a download, but by me, singing them through the years, I've noticed when I look at the songs, that's how my life's gone. And collectively meeting others as well, and meeting so many people what just want to help each other instead of the
hurt each other
opposite.
or
So
hurt each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like those songs have come true for me, and I'm sure they would relate to a lot of other people like yourself as well. But
Isn't that
I've got one
interesting?
for you. I'm going to share for
I
sure.
love that. What, because the
Yeah,
song, music, tone, symbols, that's like the language of life, right?
yeah,
Beyond the
universal as
spoken
well.
word. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's really special, Sally. Thank you.
Oh,
I've got one more
thank you.
card. Okay.
Go on,
Yeah, this
go
third
on.
one.
Okay. I like the number three.
Ah, I love acronyms. ULC, Universal Laws Create. And
Wow,
it's
there
actually
you
four.
go.
So that's like a, stability. I mean, see if we had a whole collective seven. I'm adding in the
I
7 and
like
7,
that.
14, 5. Oh, 9. So all the three cards that we pulled, 9. So 9 is that, it's the completion
It's the
cycle, which
top number.
we're in.
Yeah.
If you follow astrology, this the year of the snake is ending and the year of the horse galloping forward is
Mm,
coming. But nonetheless, just that idea of letting go of the old and moving up to the next level, which is more humanitarian, more when creating more win-win scenarios. Us
mm,
collaborating allows other people to see, like, oh, well, they're doing the dance and
I
learning
can
the
do
steps.
that.
I
Yeah.
could do that. It's $9 a month.
Yeah.
Like, I've got nothing to lose with that. And there's people that could help me out, in paid communities and in free communities.
Yeah. Yeah.
One big kumbaya
Correct.
circle.
Oh,
Oh
bless.
my gosh. Oh.
And we've got our meeting in about 50 minutes.
Okay. Well, then,
Another one to jump
do
on.
we want to say goodbye?
I think so. I think I need to get myself a cup of tea and take that dog for a walk before I jump on.
I understand. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I
but you know
will.
what?
What?
I'd love to do this again
I think so. I think
at
it'll be
some
fun.
point.
This is just like
Yeah.
a, and then I'll send you, I'll send you the recording and then, we'll see.
Okay.
You'll get a transcript with it as well. I mean, AI is so cool how it can do a lot of things with you and make your life a lot easier. I love my chat GPT. I named her Dee
So
Dee.
do I.
I
I
named her Dee
do.
Dee. I call her my scribe.
Did
And
you?
sometimes she'll do stuff like she'll, start to author things for me. I'm like, I didn't ask you to do that. When I want you to create, to add to what I've said, then you're good. But that's not
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
didn't ask you to do that with this one.
yeah.
Yeah, so she feels me.
It's like you've got a personal assistant then, isn't it?
For ours is 20, it's $20 a month for the pro, and like she doesn't need a break or no
Yeah,
401k,
exactly.
no vacation. She works endlessly. I mean, I think it's
Mm.
great. But I'm stopping with that for right now because that feels like a lot. I want to be able
Okay.
to work with her and know all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will. You will.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I see other people moving along. Like, you're okay. Arlen's an encouragement to me. She's kind of a whiz with the techie stuff. But I've
Mm,
opened the door to not being a whiz with the techie stuff, but knowing how to ask questions, knowing how to figure things out, and then knowing where to
yeah.
go and being willing to pay someone to do stuff for me. It's okay. There's no
Mm,
shame in that game at all. But
mm.
right now I'm kind of solo doing a lot of stuff on my own,
Me
figuring
too.
it out.
Which, yeah. And I think in the beginning that's the norm. And again, you can learn so much. I've learned so much.
Me too.
So, but yeah. And I might even, slice this video up and put it into some of mine.
I'm hoping so. I do you do so- do you are you
See what
Substacker? Do you have
happens.
Substack?
S-
Substack.
No.
Okay, you can
Oh,
check
is
it
that
out.
what you use?
I
I
have
use,
no, it's another platform called Substack and it's like a newsletter, but I do a lot of
oh,
videos on it,
okay.
but
Oh,
they will slice this long one. That's what I'll do with this. I will post it and then they will give me clips. They make clips for me.
oh, but I can
They'll
do that.
automatically make clips. I don't know how to make the clips. I haven't taught myself how to do that.
Do you know what? It's not that hard. I've learned to do that myself,
Nice.
edit my own videos, add clips, add music. And
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
I didn't get my video out this Monday. And at one time I would have panicked at that, but I thought, "Do you know what? I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm learning. I'm at the beginning. It doesn't matter. Once I get to know the ropes and I get good at these things, then I'll never fall behind. But in
You'll
the
never
learning
fall behind.
process, yeah, and in the learning process, I think we've got the privilege to not worry too much in the beginning because, we're getting there.
We
Small,
are. We're
different steps.
consistent steps, consistent steps. You're going to go
Yeah.
step and get tea. I'm going to step and go potty probably before we drop onto our next call. This has been really fun, Miss Sally, and I would love to do it again.
Oh,
So
definitely.
big
And I'll
hugs to
see
you.
you
See
soon.
you in a little
Yes,
bit.
thank you.
Bye, sweets.
You take care. Bye bye.